Good evening, everybody. Madness is now. Baseball season is upon us. Time for some dingers. And we all know who Steve's picking this week in our pick'em. So we know he's going with Scotty. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Tavern. How's everybody doing tonight?
There we go.
What's happening?
I like the outfits.
What's happening?
I like your fit tonight.
It's American fit.
That's where we're going. That's where we're going. March Madness is upon us, folks. We are in the heart of it.
How was everybody's weekend?
Sadly, my second bracket that I didn't enter into any of the national contests or ours is the one that's doing better.
You know what bracket is doing best for me right now? I have two that I did.
Mascot fight.
Mascot fight is doing well. What the heck? I picked best. I always do that every year. Dave knows I pick the who would win in a mascot fight between two mascots, and mascot fight is actually showing to hold up this year.
Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. That you do that every year.
It's fun. You just you take the two mascots and you pick the best one, because you always have those people like in fantasy sports that like don't know what they're doing and they pick based on, oh, I like the colors of that team. So I do a mascot fight one for fun. And it's actually, it never lives up to this. This year, it is blowing things out of the water.
Nice.
And speaking of blowing things out of the water, we have someone that is blowing everyone out of the water in the Golfing Dads men's picks.
Yes.
It's not one of us.
It is not one of us.
No.
Though aren't you related to them, Greg?
I am related to this person. So
insider information.
My sister-in-law, she knows sports.
Is this a Shohei incident here? Is that what we've got here?
We're not gambling on stuff. I didn't send my interpreter to go gamble on sports for me.
Oh,
I mean, what's going on there?
Let's not. Like that's not like that.
That isn't a play out like a bad drum, and we're just gonna have to wait to see what happens.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
just what Major League Baseball didn't want.
A lot of stuff going on right now. We got March Madness going on. We got golf in the beginning of the season. We got the NFL meetings going on, and stuff is happening there.
Because you can't tackle anybody anymore, and you have to wear flags now.
Kickoff changes?
XFL rules.
I kind of like the kickoff change, not because I think it's going to be better. I just think it's going to be really confusing to figure out during the season.
Right. Like, let's talk about this.
Hold on. That bounced into the end zone, so I get it on my own 20, and then I get $30 from the other team because it went out of bounds. Like, I have no idea what these kickoff rules are going to be.
Right.
Also, can anyone explain what a hip tackle is?
No.
It's not allowed.
No.
All right.
We might need to bring Ray Lewis on to explain that one.
Ray Lewis has my favorite quote of all time when it comes to talking about Ray Rice, when he goes, there's certain things you can get away with and certain things you can't. Really? That's where you're going with this?
That's why I said Ray.
All right, let's get into first round here. All right, well, we got a lot going on in sports this week, but we're the Golfing Dads here, and we wanted to talk about kind of kids in sports and kind of when you get your kids involved, when is too much to get your kids involved, when is someone like Charlie Woods, when is he being too overexposed, and when are we giving him too much grief for just playing golf?
Still playing golf. Back to our favorite saying on the show. Yes, he's Tiger's son. Yes, he's afforded more opportunities than others because he's Tiger's son. Yes, people are expecting great things from him, just like Jack's kids were expected great things from Arnold's kids, and every other great that came before him, whether it was Faldo or anyone else. And none of those, because of the pressure put on them, amounted to anything. And I think the challenge that I see and the fear that I have with Tigers, with Charlie, is, you go back to him playing South Florida in the prequel for Cognizant, and people showing up and causing a scene, and you needed marshals around him for a PGA Tour prequel. And I just don't necessarily agree that you need to do that. You need to go down that road. You played the AJGA event this week, and all eyes were on him playing an AJGA event with Tiger being there. And I understand Tiger moves the needle. I do. I think the problem that I have with this is that when you look back at history and everyone is expecting Charlie to be the next Tiger, when there is a 99.99% chance he falls well short of that.
Well, and the other thing is, let him just be a kid and play golf. Like,
right.
Just because Tiger's there. Like, I'm glad Tiger goes to these events. I'm glad Tiger's there, like, coaching him along the way. And I love the passion that Charlie has for the sport that we see when they're playing in the father-son. Like, that's the only time media should be covering Charlie, is when they're playing in the father-son, because that's specifically an event that's there. Otherwise, let him be a kid. And also, you're taking away, I think, from the other kids that are playing there that are playing well, because you're only focusing on one person because of who their dad is.
Right.
You kind of compare it to LeBron and Bronny right now. Bronny, he's a little bit older. Granted, he's in college, but the same hype was there when he was in high school and LeBron would show up to a game.
But here's
it's an unrealistic. Yeah. Is Bronny good at basketball? Yeah. Does he have the greatest stats? No, he's like 9 points and 3 rebounds. But somebody's going to draft him because he's LeBron's kid, and it's a set of unrealistic.
And somebody's going to draft him because that also means that LeBron could come and play for them, and that would mean that would mean they could play together, and that's why they're going to draft him.
Yeah.
Well, and LeBron has actually now come out and said, I'm not necessarily going to the team that drafts Bronny.
Yeah, because he's afraid the Magic. He's afraid the Magic are going to do it, and he doesn't want to come play here.
No, it's Detroit. He's going to be in Detroit. Let's be honest.
Right.
He's going to be in Detroit, back to Cleveland, or with the Knicks, and he doesn't want to play there either.
Well, no, the Knicks are in 4th place right now.
It doesn't mean they won't blow it.
That's you know who I'm rooting for. So
yeah, I know.
But it's true. We put so much hype on these kids. Like, we just need to be, as a society, we need to be better at being parents, letting our kids play sports. Don't force them into anything. Like, let them be kids. Like, it's also like these parents that go to baseball games, like Little League games, and are screaming at the officials.
No, I'm not going
because
to bed. She said 30 more minutes.
Go to bed.
She said 30 more minutes.
Go to bed.
See, we got to be dads too at this point.
Yeah, we got to be.
This is.
Hey, by the way, Greg. Hey, Greg, did you see his shirt? By the way, Greg,
was it Orlando City?
There
is.
We go.
Yeah.
Here. I'm not going to bed. I'm not going to bed until 30.
He's got an Orlando City scarf.
Go to
bed, Luke.
No, I can't.
Here's the thing. It's one of the things. Like, living in a small town here. We have a minor league baseball team next town over. My wife used to work for him for a point in time. Wayne Gretzky's kid played there for about a year and a half. Not that great. Decided to try and make a bit. Wayne would show up at games there, but the joys of being in a small town, nobody bothered him. He sat there and drank a Busch Light, and he was happy.
I mean, that's kind of what it should be. Like,
is anyone really happy drinking a Busch Light? Can we go back to that comment really quick?
That's
Iowa, you are.
Yeah, in Iowa, you are. Midwest. Steve, you got to understand the Midwest. The Midwest is different. It's that we got the Hoosier hospitality here in Indiana. Like, you got to understand that. But that's what I like. I like when parents like support their kids going to games. Like, my parents came to my sporting events. But don't overhype it. My parents didn't argue with officials, didn't argue with this stuff. Your kid may be the next Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods or something like that, but you know what? They're not going to be that if you're there yelling at everyone, because you're not
correct.
Fun for anyone.
Well,
And the same goes for the media. Don't overhype these kids.
My bigger problem is, and I agree with that, like, you're overhyping Charlie. He's not even, and let's be real, he's not even the best player on his high school team.
No, he's a great player. Don't get us
Right.
wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, he's not even the best player in his high school team, and they won state championship this year. I think the thing that I see is that how many of these kids end up going down a rabbit hole of problems because of the media attention, because of who their parents were. And you can't, if you let them grow up and just be kids, what would happen to them then? Like, that's my argument, is let Charlie grow up, let him find his own way. Maybe it isn't in golf. Maybe it, you know what I mean? Like, he loves playing golf now, but is he, Tiger never got burned out. Charlie could get burned out very quickly.
Never let Tiger get burned out.
I mean, that is true.
Well, and also look at other people. Like, look at Patrick Mahomes' dad. He was a Major League Baseball player, and his son is one of the greatest football players now. So,
correct.
Like, find their path, let them grow up, and be.
His dad also likes to drink and get behind the wheel of a vehicle or two.
Well, we're not going there, man. Come on. Let's not be the media and drag people down.
Hey, let's not be dads dragging other dads down.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, is you're right, Steve. Let these kids grow up and not put these expectations on them just because who their parents are. Because I think if we stop doing that, they might live up to the hype.
Yeah,
correct.
But let's wait till, like, I kind of like that LeBron James's kid, you really didn't hear a lot about until high school, but I think we should have waited till college, unless he was like LeBron in high school, which he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to come out of the NBA. It's straight.
I mean, the biggest news we heard about him was, unfortunately,
the heart attack.
The heart attack that happened at practice. Like, that was the biggest news we heard about Brownie.
And thank God that he's now recovered from that. And I think, to be honest, he needs to stay in college for a little bit longer and develop, and he could be a great player.
Correct.
But he's not the star on that team right now. And I think it's good we're hearing less of that hype, because all we were hearing for the last year was like, he's going to come out and it's going to be, and LeBron's going to wait for this. But you know what? If it doesn't happen, let's get back to reality and let these kids be kids.
We see, speaking of baseball season is, I think we see more baseball sons coming up, coming in and playing in, Prince Fielder, Vlad Guerrero, three of them are on the Blue Jays. Three of them are on the Blue Jays right now, and Bichette, Biggio, and Guerrero.
That's what
right
Biggio's on.
But they grew up in a certain environment. Granted, they're playing in Toronto, so most people don't care unless they're playing the Yankees.
Well, look at Steph Curry too. His dad played, and he grew up in that environment. And him and his brother grew up in that environment, and are now great NBA players. But
Steph was never supposed to be that good. Look at you go back and.
But you didn't hear the hype about them with all of that. Like,
Steph also went to Davidson. Like, he went to Davidson.
There's a whole lot behind that too, though. Like,
but like when you think about it, like, it's not like he was at, and we'll say it, he's not like he was at Duke. There's a lot of guys that he didn't go through that major D1 school, North Carolina's, any of the ACC schools in basketball. Like, he didn't do any of that.
No, but he came up, and you knew who his dad was, but there wasn't the hype behind it. And look how he turned out, because I don't feel he had to live up to the hype that his dad was a professional athlete.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna hear that as a kid already. Like, you're going to be compared to your parents. We were all compared to our parents, like, at some points. And it's a parent's job to be like, hey, I think our parents did a great job of saying, like, hey, you do the best you can, and you'll be proud of your kids. And that's what we pass on to our kids too. Just let dads be dads, let parents be parents, and don't overhype these kids and put so much pressure on from the media. That's what needs to stop.
Correct. All right. I think it's time. What do you think?
I think it's time. Let's go. Let's get right into it. So go right into
7:14. Right.
Before we bring in our guests, we've got an intro for our guest tonight. So we don't normally do this intro.
I had to request this because I think this is
It
perfect
came from
with us.
Greg. So this is our intro for our guest tonight.
Tickets keep it going. Singles, doubles, triples, dingers.
I'm not this small to still hit.
Dingers. I'm a PO, but I still hit. Dingers. 3-0 count, but I still hit a dingers. I'm a redhead, but I still hit. Dingers. Coach give me bump, but I still hit. Dingers. Hang me a curve and I will hit. Dingers. I'm milk cast, but I still hit. Dingers. Dingers. Dingers.
My favorite one may be I milk cows, but I
Still
still
hit dingers.
That needs to be a t-shirt. Like that is
Nick.
the epitome of the Midwest.
And that's just another normal day in the Midwest.
Now, Dave, turn your mic on because it's picking it up on your headset. Set your mic in settings, Dave. So without further ado, I want to bring to the stage a good friend of mine, Nick Mazingo. Nick from Dingers. How are you, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you doing tonight?
Good. You hitting dingers?
Well.
You hitting dingers or what?
No, I just watched my kids hit some dingers tonight, but that's about it.
Did you? Nice. So Nick, I know we talked earlier today or yesterday. We talked. We've both been busy, tied up, and so first off, welcome to the Tavern. You and I have been talking about doing this for a while, and kind of felt like with opening day this week, this was a great time to have you on to talk about your product. So
Definitely tried.
yeah. So Nick, how did you start Dingers? Where did it start?
Well, I was playing baseball for quite a while, and I was sitting there. My day job's running cranes, so I was sitting there in the crane, and I was trying to find some baseball apparel and gear and whatnot for myself. And I came up with a few ideas, and I couldn't find anything, like hardly anything baseball related. I know TaylorMade made some stuff a while ago, but that was all Giant stuff. And then just couldn't find anything that I really liked, so I started making some custom stuff for myself, and kind of said, you know what, I think there's a market for this. I think other people might enjoy this as well. And then just kind of went from there, got the LLC, and just kind of ran with it from there.
Mike says hi.
What's up, Mike? Now that's a baseball slice right there.
That is a baseball slice right there. Dave, you good? Dave? No, that look.
Dave's what we're trying to figure out the technical. You good there, Dave?
Yeah, my headphones aren't working tonight,
All right,
so
just go with it. Go without them. It's all you.
yeah.
Dave, it's you. Question's you.
Oh, it's me? Well, I'm here.
Yeah.
What's up, Dave?
So,
My name is Dave.
as Bradley would say, that's another drink. So
Yeah.
as a baseball golf company, what are we talking about here? Is this like, going, all major league, hats for bats here? Keep bats warm, or, what are we talking, how is the baseball coming into the golf here?
Well, like myself, or like a lot of guys, I know Steve used to play ball. I think one of you guys played ball too. Whether it's you played in Little League, high school, college, pros, semi-pro, whatever you want to call it. I got head covers, I got hats. It's just apparel, it's accessories, anything that can tie your love for the game of baseball into golf. Because I know a lot of us who used to play baseball, get transitioned into golf because it's something that you don't have to have a group of guys for, or you go out with your buddies that you used to play with, and you go swing something fast at a ball that's stationary, brings you back to the T-ball days, and you just smack it around, drink some beers, hang out, and still get to have that competitive edge to you without having to go play slow pitch softball.
Slow pitch softball.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying there's that transition. Some guys got an ego complex with that. So
no, we've never played with any of those guys in slow pitch softball.
No,
Not at all.
Dave and I used to play with a guy in slow pitch softball who was on our team, who was drafted into Major League Baseball, and he played golf too, but he used golf gloves as his batting gloves and batting gloves for his golf gloves. It was the weirdest thing.
That sounds pretty legit. That sounds like a market.
It was impressive. So So speaking of that, what kind of products does Dingers offer to our golfing community here?
We range. We have head covers. We've done collabs with Hatch Golf. Those are our putter covers. We have our own branded fairways and hybrids and driver covers. We have hats. We have ball markers. Basically anything under the accessory type deal. Yeah, even some apparel. We've had hoodies and polos and whatnot too. So we're trying to kind of really define who we are and what we're looking to branch into. But right now we kind of have a whole kind of web of products to try and feel it all out and really expose the great game of baseball alongside golf.
Nice. Can you? I know you have them on your clubs now. Can you talk about those grips yet, or no?
Yes, I can actually. I'm a grip stickler. I played the MCCs for a while, and then I got on the cords from the Tour Velvet cords. And when I first came up with or found pitch grips, my first thing was like, man, I hope the quality's there because these things are sweet. And I got some samples in and immediately threw them on my clubs. And I have to say, I genuinely do enjoy the grips. And I had them for about a month before I even talked about putting them on the website. So, or, let buddies handle them and kind of get a feel for them. But I mean, they're really, let me see here. Got the 58 here. And I use this thing almost every day in the backyard. And, it's still pretty crisp and white. They have the white.
Hey, Nick, get a little closer to your camera so they can see the detail on this.
Yeah, there you go. You got the pitch grips there.
Those are awesome.
They have that, and then they have the black ones. Same thing, just black. And I actually got the putter grip in the garage. But yeah, they got a putter grip as well. So I mean, I reached out to them and I was like, hey, you guys, this is a match made in heaven. So shout out to Pitch Grips. But we have them on our store. They have them on their store. We always offer free shipping on all of our stuff. So kind of edge them out a little bit there. But yeah, they're genuinely awesome grips. I mean, even if you don't like a bright white grip, they have the black with the subtle seams to them. So I mean, it's the best of both worlds. You get a little bit of flair if you want, but you also have that subtle, seam look to them as well. But I really do enjoy the grips. They're a little bit more tacky than like a Tour Velvet. I haven't gotten to the hard stage where they're kind of worn out yet. So I mean, they're really, really nice. I'm impressed with them.
Nice.
So Nick, going back to your products, and are you do you like mass produce products? Are you a small batch guy? What kind of product runs do you guys have?
We're doing a little bit of both. There's some limited release products we have, like our Masters hats that we ran for this year. Those will be limited for this year. Next year we'll have a different style, just like we did the year before. We did our limited run with Hatch for our putter covers. So I mean, we kind of sprinkle in different variances because I want to appeal to both sides of the ball. There's a lot of collectors out there that don't mind spending the extra money on something that they love. But there's also a lot of younger college kids or high school kids or parents, for that matter, that see a product, but they also don't want to pay a premium for it just because they know it'll get worn and used, which I want all our stuff to be used. I want to be seen on the course and, take pride in your baseball DNA that you bring to the course. I mean, we go with both sides because that's how I've always been. And, I've been around Swag and AFS and Hatch and all those guys. So, I mean, it's hard when things don't sell out immediately because that's what you're used to. But I mean, the big picture here is to appeal to everybody.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the hats for the Masters there. Do you do any other tie-ins with any other majors or like, the All-Star Game or the World Series?
We try to tap into the majors. It depends on where baseball's falling because typically around the U.S. Open, you're getting closer to the All-Star break. So we're trying to, I mean, there's so many companies that make Masters and U.S. Open, like so many companies that tie into those, your majors for golf or even the smaller tournaments. So what we kind of wanted to do differently was tie into, the big baseball times like opening day. You got spring training, opening day, the All-Star break, the All-Star game, and then you have, playoffs at the end of the year. So, I mean, that's kind of what I would look at more of our majors. It just so happens that the Masters and opening day are very close. I think last year they were in the same weekend. So, I mean, that's an easy one because who doesn't love the Masters? And, I mean, even the non-golfers who like baseball. I mean, I have family that doesn't watch golf any time of the year. They just watch the Masters, and they don't like golf, never played it. So it's just one of those things that it's easy to tie into, especially with opening day right around that area.
We all love the Masters here. I mean, Masters and baseball. You got guys. I'm a Yankees fan. Steve's is a Red Sox fan. I don't know how we're friends. And Dave's a Phillies fan because we all have to root for somebody.
Right.
We did draw a line in our house one year.
We did do that. So I mean, my team's not doing well right now. So I'll be honest. And the Phillies are the best out of the three right now. Let's just call it what it is.
It's spring training. Nobody pays attention.
Yeah,
I'm talking about last year. So hopefully the Yankees go back to spending money and we'll do better this year. But so right now, Nick, you got a new line of covers out right now. Can you talk a little bit more about the new covers?
Yeah, we actually kind of went after the theme that we did with our putter covers, which our putter covers were the single or the double seam. I called them these were the opening day pearls. Just something real simple to where it's not too in your face, but it's also got that, that really defined, baseball seam to it. But we actually came out with the driver cover. We have the driver, we have the fairway in both white and black. So if you want something a little bit subtle, very similar to the grips, we kind of got together on that. And that I was in the design process whenever I found those, so it kind of worked out perfect. But we have a driver in white, we have a fairway in white, and then we have a driver in black and a fairway in black, and that's our most recent one. They're a PU material. They're not leather as much as I love leather. That just doesn't last, especially on white. White's very hard to stitch into, so something more of a PU leather is definitely better for durability and also holding a high stitch count. It's good quality stuff. It's we try and keep it reasonable with our pricing. That's why we don't go after too high cost materials, because at the end of the day, it's all about the other end of the bag where people want to rock it and don't feel like they got to lose an arm to do so. So I mean that's our newest release. We have I think I left them, but we had a Windy Peppercorn that came out last year, and that was a big hit. And I teased some protos of, I don't think I have. Oh, I do have them here. We got Windy Peppercorn that came out last year. Got squints on the back, and that was our driver cover, and that was a pretty good hit right there. And everyone always asks for squints, and I actually have a prototype here that they made for me whenever Windy came out, and we're also working on the Beast. And those will probably be a summertime release, kind of around the All-Star break. But yeah, it's just I love and I really do enjoy designing this stuff. So I mean, head covers are the easiest thing to put an idea to. I guess you could say leather, because it's the easiest thing to actually put down an idea and have the canvas to do so.
Now I'm going to interject something here really quick. Now with those covers, I just got my son a new set of clay. He outgrew his. He's in a junior set. Would those fit on like a junior set of clubs, or are those more designed, for an adult set?
Well, it'll fit all modern day drivers. My son actually used, I think, one of my, I don't remember what CC driver he had, but he used a 3-wood cover of mine for the driver and, rocked it for some time. So up until Christmas, when he got a Daphne's alligator, which is his favorite thing in the world right now. So can't really complain about that.
Dave, I got to ask, have you introduced Will to the Sandlot yet?
He can quote the Sandlot 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, first of all, that there's more than one is impressive.
Yeah.
There's only one, let's be honest.
There's only one, but yeah, Will can quote all 3.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Nick.
He would be all over a Squints or a Beast head cover. So yeah.
No, the Beast.
When you
the
said the
Beast one
Beast
I
head
have-
cover, that's
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, the Beast one that we're gonna have coming out probably this summer is pretty legit. I'm pretty pumped on that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, my son has actually used in the correct phrase. You play ball like a girl. So
That's
Yeah.
all right. That's all right.
We're talking about basketball. I'll play basketball like Caitlin Clark any day of the week. So
That's true. That's true. Hey, Nick, one of my favorite covers that you did, and in the minute it came out, I think you got a text message from me because I thought it was really well done.
Yep.
You did a mud rubbed putter cover of a baseball that was mud rubbed.
Yeah, actually brought the bag in.
And where did you come up with the idea for that? Like going the mud rubbed route, because that's not something you see people do. They'll do the white, they'll do a white one, or when they do a shirt or something like that with the stitching out, it's always white. Where did you come up with the idea of doing the mud rubbed look like that?
Well, I mean, I can't remember exactly where it came from, but when you play baseball, 8% of the time you're playing with a ball that's either used and abused, or I don't want to say busted seams, but it's got a look to it that it's been played with, whether it's been around the yard or at the game. I mean, not a lot of us get to throw away a ball after every time it hits the dirt. But I really wanted to capture what we call it or what Hatch calls it is a golden, and we kind of call it specials. It's just a limited version of a certain cover. So we had the white cover, we called it the pearl, and then we had our mud rubbed, which was just a little bit more of a defined character to it with the with the color tone, and I thought it just captured baseball a little bit more, and a little bit more of not everything's nice and shiny and pretty, and that mud rub has a certain special kind of effect to it, and it's it looks like most of the baseballs that you'd play with, whether it's brand new from the mud rub version that you get at MLB games, or one that you throw around the yard with your son or your dad or what have you.
It has that game used feel to it. Like that's the nice thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a nice texture to it.
And Nick, just to follow up on that, and it's one of the things you and I have talked about in rounds of golf that you and I have played. You're pretty particular when it comes to the details of your covers, like making sure the stitching's right, because there are other companies that have tried to do this, that the stitching's backwards or whatever it is. You have such a great attention to detail. Where did that come from, and why is that so important to you?
I don't know where it came from. I've always been very meticulous in things that pertain to me. We did a head cover with Case when we first got started, our first big time head cover, and it was a wood grain bat. And the biggest thing for me was when you pulled that cover out of the bag or pulled it, out, I wanted people to know it was a baseball bat. I didn't want it to look like a piece of lumber, a piece of wood. I wanted to have the detailed orientation that it actually looked like a baseball bat. And I've kind of always been that way. I don't know where exactly it came from, but it's just kind of stuck with me because, if I get a product and it's supposed to be a baseball, I know the seams go in opposite directions when you look at a baseball. And I'll name drop them because I think it's horrible that they did this. But when Betty did it with Rawlings, I think it was last summer, right? Wasn't it Bednardi? Yeah, they had a collaboration with Rawlings, and they had the seams going the same direction. And it's like you would figure with two giant companies like that someone would be like, hey, let's look at a baseball and actually see how the seams go, because there's a lot of people out there that are like me that really pay attention to the details, and that's something that really rubbed me the wrong way, just because I love when other companies, I don't want to say I love it, I really enjoy when other companies get into the mix of the baseball scene, just because there's a ton of us out there that grew up with it or played professionally or semi-professionally or weekend tournaments, AAU, whatever have you. And I just feel like you kind of lose out on some of the luster of it if you don't have the real fine details to it. I mean, even designing these head covers with the seams, I actually, on my whatever app I use, I actually put an MLB baseball behind it and turn it translucent so I could actually match up where all the seams go to an MLB ball that actually It's got the same spacing, the same curvature. Man, my head cover guy, I feel bad for him. I made him run through so many different prototypes with seams, and he would make them straight up too. And he'd show them to me. I'm like, something's off about that. It needs 5% more, curvature to it. He'd knock it out for me. But yeah, it's now that I found that, it's kind of nice. But yeah, it's just something, I always appreciate it as a consumer when a company really captured, the full. They didn't, spare on like, oh, this will work. No one will notice. It's kind of things they're important to me, so I know they're important to other people. So I appreciate that, and hopefully other people appreciate it as well.
100%. Like you got that quality is why you buy a product. Like that's the main thing.
Hey, Mike's asking about ball markers.
What's Mike ball markers? Mike, I got tons of ball markers. I actually we did a collab with Legacy Goods. I think it was towards the end of the baseball season last year, where he took a brass marker and had it drilled out, and actually took an inlay from an MLB game used ball and put it in the inlay of the marker. So
nice.
You bring the marker with you to the course, you got a real authentic MLB ball in your pocket, and you get to drop that on the green, So when your buddies come up from their 3-putt, they can see your marker sitting, 4.5 feet from the hole. So.
Yeah, but it took me 4 putts to get there.
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
So you get to show off your ball marker 4 times. I'm just saying.
That's right.
That's why you did it.
Well, after the third one, you kind of just smack it around. You don't really mark it anymore.
That's watching Steve putt.
Sure. Okay.
So Nick, I understand, Greg and I, we got some nice flags, here behind us, right here. I understand. I had the luck of the Irish, so to say, last year, and I understand you got some luck this year that you won a certain lottery.
And a certain lottery. I didn't win the Powerball, but this is probably pretty close. Second.
Better. This is better. No,
this is better. I have that same.
Yeah, it's these guys right here. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah,
nice to have.
They're nice cardstock material.
It's a wonderful letter.
Yeah.
Right there. Are you doing anything special with that we need to be jealous about? And how excited are you to be walking around Augusta here in a couple weeks?
I don't think excited is the word. I'm pretty pumped. This has been. I mean, I haven't been like some guys where it's been 20 plus years of trying, but it's always been on the bucket list of mine, especially lately since we're kind of getting back into the golf with my dad and golfing with my brother more. And I actually found out we went up to Whistling Straits in Wisconsin last year during summer, and just had a brain fart. I can hear myself echoing somewhere. But I actually found out that I got accepted for tickets or won the lottery when we were all together in the car driving back from one of the courses. So I mean, it was just icing on the cake for the trip. So now we get to have another little mini trip. We'll be up there Monday to Thursday. Get to play a round of golf. Not at Augusta, but pretty close.
Which day are you going?
We'll be there Wednesday, so we'll be there for the practice round and then the par 3 contest.
Par 3, it's got the flag.
That's the way to go.
Yep.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Whatever actions you have going in there, they will be blown away the moment you walk through the gates.
They're blown away in the parking lot.
Hold on.
The parking lot.
Whatever your budget is for merchandise,
triple it.
I already told the wife we're loading up, so she knows that.
Hey, I might. I know. Hey, I'll see you next weekend. I might give you some cash next weekend to get me a couple things. By the way.
Okay, Mike Claire.
No, you can't. No, you can't have a garden gnome and resell it.
I don't want a garden gnome. I need a backpack. I want a backpack.
Backpack.
I didn't know about it when we were there.
Yeah, but it's like
next.
standing at the merchandise. There, it's like standing in line at Disney.
Yeah.
If we have one piece of advice for you, don't walk up from the green at 10 to the tee box at 10.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do
that.
Okay.
It's unless you need to work on your cardio. Don't put yourself through.
It's not a good idea.
Well, my dad's got a torn meniscus, so that's probably
Then
not.
definitely don't do that.
Definitely don't do it. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
And at the par 3 course, find a good hole that you like and just sit there because it's going to be just so much fun. Like that was one of the best things. Was just sitting on
But
a par
they
3.
don't sell beer over at the par 3.
So drink up before you get there. That is true.
Okay, noted. Very, very much. Noted.
Or you have to, or find a designated beer walker that'll walk back over towards one and get you one.
And it's a pretty hefty walk too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So with that, I mean, we all experienced it last year, and I will tell you, whatever you're expecting, it's gonna be better. So don't.
Yeah.
It lives up to the hype more than anything else. Can we expect to see some Dingers logo around the course?
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually going to be wearing my hat right here with our Dingers logo on it.
I like that hat. I do like that hat.
And I think my brother and I'm probably have my dad. I'm trying to convince the wife, but I doubt the wife will rock something. But yeah, we'll have some logos floating around the course. Hopefully, going to see some TV time.
Nice.
Awesome.
I had a buddy that went 2 years ago that rocked a Dingers hat, and he was on, I want to say it was like 12 T-box or 13 T-box, and actually got a little bit of TV time. I have a screen grab from that, so that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, we got a few screen grabs. We got back to my parents' house where we were staying because they were nice enough to put us up. So thank you to my parents last year for putting up with all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we were watching the par 3 replay, and we were like, "Oh, there we are!" Like we knew where we sat, and
oh yeah.
If it was a year earlier, we would have watched Tony Finau break his ankle. But
Yes.
Awful, so awful.
Awful. So, Nick, before we let you go, first off, have a great time at Augusta. But
we're jealous.
Yeah, we're jealous.
Right.
But where can people find out more about Dingers, and where can they find you when they want to order their baseball products?
We have an Instagram at I think it's at Dingers_golf_co, and then we have Facebook, which is I believe just at Dingers Golf Co. And then we also have dingersgolfco.com, which we have full shop, anything and everything you could really think of. We just released some youth hats as well. You can rock your kid can rock the Dingers logo as well. So I mean, dad and son, mother, father, I guess. I don't know. Kind of came out weird, but either way, I mean, we're online, we're on social networks. We're not on X or Twitter or whatever you call it now because we're not that hip, but we're online. You can find us. Google search will work too.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, Nick, I will see you definitely next Sunday where we play in the McMillan Mortgage Masters on the WAGC circuit. But thank you for joining us tonight, and I will chat with you soon, brother.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Dave, you like my cup tonight?
That is a nice cup tonight.
With that hat. I'll shamelessly plug you tonight.
Yeah. Steve, that's a drink for a shameless plug there, too.
Yeah.
That is a drink for a shameless plug.
We all just made a shameless plug there, but
yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, some great head covers, some great baseball.
Bradley was on it, by the way. Bradley was on it.
He's always on it. The bringing baseball, like our passion for other sports, into golf is always fun, and we always love that customization. And this is kind of a way to bring a different passion into it. And we're getting into baseball season here too, and you two are bigger baseball fans than I am, so I love baseball, but you two bring it to another level. Like,
yeah, I do love me some baseball.
Yeah.
All right, I think
it's. I feel like the and I'm gonna say this: the speech from Bagger Vance about the greatest game there ever is could also be said about baseball. And there's always the baseball speech from Field of Dreams. Just saying.
I was gonna say let's not compare the two, because the speech from Bagger Vance about golf is about golf. Let's go to Field of Dreams for the baseball quote.
The greatest baseball speech ever.
That's what I got tonight. I got my Field of Dreams for tonight. So
it's a wonderful whiskey.
It is. It is good. And we talk about this all the time with the passion that we have for these things, and it's what you remember growing up. It's that love for the game. It's the love for the game of baseball, like playing baseball with your parents, with your family, it's America's pastime. That's just what golf is too. So it's the same kind of feeling, and bringing those two things together Thank you for that.
I think Nick hit it on the head, especially coming into the Masters. There's family out there that it's the only thing of golf they'll watch all year long.
Yeah,
because it's the Masters.
There's a lot of people up north that think that the Masters is the official start of spring. Like, you can have the first day of spring, but the Masters is the start of spring. Like, that's what people look forward to.
Except for when it happens in November.
To be honest, does golf really start? Does golf really start till the Masters?
Until you hear Jim Nantz say,
"Hello, friends."
Yes.
Hello, friends.
Like that's when I really feel like we're in the heart of the golf season. Like, I love golf and I love that the season starts, but when I feel like the heart of the golf season, it's Masters week.
Yep.
So, all right, with that, Steve, it's your time. Duff, I hate to say it, I might like that intro better.
Wow.
I know they love the old one.
Brad, you're right.
That is true. And Bradley, we're playing this year when I'm out in Illinois. We're playing this year at some point. So we're gonna figure that out.
All right. So it is time for the Smack of the Week. Brought to you by nothing. Just here it is.
Hey, why don't you try to keep your eye on the ball next time?
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that yet.
Nope.
We've all thought about that when someone says that to you on the course.
I mean,
think about that whenever I see Steve.
Yeah, but that's not because he gave you advice. That's just because he's Steve.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. Dave, you don't have the aim to do that.
You're also right.
Challenge accepted. Come on, Dave. All right.
I admit.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, Dave.
I'd miss Steve by a foot.
I think you could hit him.
What do we think the distance is there? 8 feet?
Yeah, probably 8 feet. I think you could hit him with that.
Okay.
If he was in the middle of the fairway, you might miss him, but 8 feet in front of you, I think you got to.
If he was standing in a trap off the fairway, I'd probably hit him.
That's the most unsafe place for him to stand. That's
Correct.
So we talked about the Masters, but we played a little. There was a little tournament at Innsbruck this week.
Innsbruck, third week in a row on the PGA Tour at a golf course that I've played. Go ahead, Brad. Say it. Drink. Just say it, Brad. Drink. I knew it was coming.
My aim might be better than a stormtrooper.
No, it's not.
Well,
No, it is not.
There, 3 or 4 more of these, and it might be better.
There you go.
Here's the problem that I have with what's going on. So Peter Malnati wins last week, right?
Yep.
There was a lot of talk leading up that Peter Malnati had gotten some sponsors invites to some tournaments that a lot of people weren't very happy about. They felt like he got those sponsors invites undeservingly because he was on the player advisory board for the PGA Tour, and that he shouldn't have gotten those, that he wasn't ranked high enough, this, that, and the other.
It's a sponsor's exemption.
They can do what they want, and I'm going to say that.
They can let us play.
Right. They don't need to, but they could let us play.
Like, don't judge. Come on, people.
We can talk about Justin Thomas's 79 or whatever he was that had 38 putts on Saturday, moving day. They went backwards. We can talk about Cam Young and didn't win again, didn't close the deal again. I want to talk about Peter Malnati's post-round press conference on Sunday and how it was the ultimate dad press conference I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And that alone, I'm glad he won. Talking about the fact that he plays the yellow golf ball because his son liked the yellow golf ball and he could care less now, but he does that to remind him of his son. Or talking about taking himself off of social media and not paying attention to social media at all because it's just negative all the time. Or talking about, his family and his wife and all the trials and tribulations they've been through, and traveling with your family and letting the kids go to school late the next day. Like, I'm going to be honest, if you don't want to root for Peter Malnati to win as a dad, then you don't understand. Don't watch our show. Don't, because again, it was one of the coolest post-round press conferences. And I just really feel like at this point, Peter Malnati can come on our show. I'm going to say this: Peter Malnati can come on our show anytime he wants to.
Well, here's the question about Peter: is he this year's Lucas Glover?
Maybe, but here's the other thing: like, he fits into what we talk about on here. And who are the people that we root for on here? Keegan, who, if you watched Netflix, was all about his family on Netflix, and all about, what are you putting your ears for? Like, come on, man. Like,
spoilers. I haven't watched it yet.
Well, but when you watch, it's not spoiling anything.
Unbelievable.
That's unacceptable for being on this show. Like,
like you should be fired.
Just for that, Steve. We'll talk here and go back to this. But for that, like, we root for Tony Finau because of how he is with his family. We root, like, when you watch all these players, they bring their kids out on when they win a tournament. Like, that's what I love about the PGA Tour is it's about being a dad. It's about your family. It's a strain on your family that you have to travel and play golf. I mean, we all wish that we could do this, but you're still away from your family, and that's tough because you love your family and you're doing this for your family. Yep. And Dave, I'm going to spoil first swing for you. Again, is Joel Damon talking about how just providing for his family and trying to win out on the PGA Tour, the stress that put on him. So I love when these players get in these press conferences and say something as simple as, I play a yellow golf ball for my son. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's what I want to see on tour. That's why I watch this tour. That's why I love this game. Like, I got into this game because of my dad, and my dad got into it because of his dad, and my son gets into it because he watches me. Like, I never forced him into it. I never wanted it. Like, I never said, hey, you have to play golf. He just loves it and loves doing it. And it makes me so happy to see how much he loves it. And he's only 3. And that's what makes this sport so great. And that's why we do what we do here. And that's why we are the Golfing Dads. So,
and if, Nick, if you're still out there, if you're still watching, or you go back and see this, the part that, talking about the Masters, the par 3, and watching those kids run around in caddy uniforms at the par 3 without a care in the world.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And that's what I say about, like, the Masters. What makes it so special is that par 3 contest, is the families are involved, is you're seeing this on there. Like, this is the stuff that we should be broadcasting, that the media should be showing. We talked in first round about, like, not broadcasting and putting the pressure on these kids, but show the family side of it. Like, that's what you should be talking about.
You should have a whole day broadcast of just the par 3 contest, where they pick it up at like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. It should be a whole day broadcast.
I almost think
put it on the Ocho. Bring that back for the broadcast.
Let one of your kids play with you, not just caddy and the caddy bibs. Let the kids play the par 3 with you. That would be amazing for the Masters to do. I think having a father-son or a father-daughter like play with you through the par 3, unbelievable. We're changing the sport here, people.
Hashtag trademarked.
Hashtag Golfing Dads.
Yes. Hashtag the Golfing Dads Tavern. Yeah. Like, I think that, when you look back at Valspar, there were a lot of comments online that it looked like a mini tour event or this, that, or the other. Here's the thing. And of course, it was a lot of people that were live proponents ripping on it. Here's the problem with here's what happened at Valspar that can't ever happen at a live event is it's a great win and a great story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it is what it is. Like Peter Malnati winning after 3,000 days. It was 2015 was the last time he won.
Well, and not only look at the people that missed the cut and the struggles that were out there. This wasn't an easy round of golf.
Yeah,
for 4 days.
everybody that we freaking picked.
All three of our picks.
Y'all joined me in the miscut club.
The golden sombrero for the Tavern last week. Hello.
but that's my point. Is if you want to watch live and you just want to watch people like do an exhibition, fine, watch that. Don't badmouth the PGA. I'm not badmouthing live for what it's trying to be. Like, be what you want to be over there. But if you want those heartwarming stories, this is why we love the PGA Tour. Right.
Correct. Yep. So, no, congratulations, Peter. Welcome back to the Masters, and welcome back to Hawaii.
And with that, let's get into next week. And Dave, you're up. I think you two love that music more than anything else.
I'm glad that we did not get rid of the Spy Hunter music. It's all
I'm never getting rid of that. That's 100% on me.
Off to Texas.
Off to Texas.
Houston, hello.
Yes. The Children's Open here, a great cause.
100%.
For speaking of that, great cause. Here the field kind of expands again this week. We get a lot of people back coming into it. It's let's see who last year's winner was.
Tony Finau.
Was it Tony Finau last year? Yeah. Who opens at 25-1. Scotty, odds-on favorite at 2.5.
Really? This guy is unstoppable this year.
Yeah.
Hey,
I hope he goes. You can already write in Steve's pick.
You can write in my pick because you two can't pick him. Just go ahead and write in Scotty for me. Thanks.
Yeah. So I don't care where Steve's picking because he gets Scotty.
Here that becomes the question. Like, because we all missed the cut.
No, we can't pick.
But it doesn't matter. You've picked him this month. Yeah. You and he both picked him this month. So Scotty's mine. So you guys can figure out your pick.
Because Keegan finished higher up the cut line than Harmon did. You get to pick before I do.
But no. Who had the worst score? Your guy, right? Yeah. So you pick.
Oh, okay.
Steve's already got Scotty, so
Steve's already got Scotty because we can't take him.
Steve's already got Scotty, so we'll take that out. So you pick before I do.
Okay.
So it's your pick.
So Wyndham Clark comes in at 12-1. Will Zalatoris at 18. Thagala at 18. And Jason Day rounds it out with Finau at 25. Siwoo at 28. We keep going down from there. I'm gonna. Oh, damn.
Just take Wyndham. Go ahead.
Shut up, Steve.
Steve's right. That's my pick.
Steve, why did you do that to me? Hold on, Steve. He wasn't gonna pick Wyndham until you said something.
Yes, he was because literally the last two times Wyndham and Scotty have shown up, they finished 1-2. So why would you not take Wyndham Clark?
Because he's Dave. He might have just overlooked that.
Then how do we do odds with this guy? Like, he's gonna take Wyndham.
Yeah.
Don't give him the pick. Oh, blasphemy. All right, are you taking Wyndham?
Yeah.
All right, then I'm taking Zalatoris.
Okay.
I had two picks there, and I was going with whatever if you chose one of them, I was taking the other.
I know, and that's what I was trying to decide between there, so.
Yep.
I wasn't going any farther down the list there. I need to get back on track here.
So I just want to apologize to Will Zalatoris that you missed the cut this week because I am terrible at this, unless your name is Scotty Scheffler.
So our standings right now, after we all took a -5 last week, Greg's at 36, Steve's at 47, I'm at 78.
Come on, Greg, we got to catch up.
We got to catch. I just got to stop picking people that missed the cut. That's
true.
My first goal is to make the cut. Let's be honest here.
Hey, listen, last year Dave Norton could pick Sepp. We couldn't pick Sepp, so maybe you just can't pick.
No,
then you can't lose points.
I'm going to start picking the Corn Ferry Tour because I'm only good for that right now. I haven't earned picking on the PGA Tour yet.
So, Greg, your miscuts so far this year: Camilo Villegas, Mackenzie Hughes, Sepp Straka, Justin Thomas, and Keegan Bradley.
The last two are the ones that I'm more concerned about.
Yes.
The other ones I get. Those two.
The JT miscut at the players was concerning.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
Like that's where I kind of realized that like I'm a jinx for these players. So Will Zalatoris, I officially apologize that I picked you this week. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you missed the cut. And if he misses the cut, it proves that I am officially a jinx for PGA Tour players. So
unless your name is Scotty Scheffler.
Unless your name is Scotty Scheffler, that is true. Because I picked the first winner and the only winner we've picked this year.
Oh my! I'm gonna just leave this here.
That's awesome. No,
Thanks.
I'm picking Bubba for the Masters.
Yeah. Yeah. You can pick Bubba in 2 weeks.
So that's I can pick Bubba. Yeah, that is 100% true this year. Last year I did pretty well. This year, not so much.
Not so much.
Awesome.
I call it as it is. I know what's going on.
Well, guys, another great week. Next week we've got where are they next week? Texas? Hey, San Antonio next week?
Yes. Yep.
San Antonio next week?
Yeah, the following week. Yep.
Awesome. Well, guys, I hope you guys have a great week. I get to go to the air show this weekend at MacDill Air Force Base, so I will be out there with my kids on Saturday. So I hope everybody
golf
has
on Friday with my father-in-law. So
nice.
I'm working.
You guys have fun. Happy Easter, everybody.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.